Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me, over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free.
What is the Movement Voter Project? What do we do? How are we going to change America? We're all about harnessing the power of social movements and local organizing to win in 2020 and beyond. We can't wake up on November 4th to 4 more years. Movement Voter Project, we really believe, is the single most effective way to impact 2020. Our strategy is simple. First, it's focusing on the most critical states. And we do that by building political power for long-term change, not just for one election. We invest in groups that are of, for, and led by those who are bearing the brunt of injustice: youth, women, people of color, immigrants, Muslims, and the issues they care most about. Historically, candidates parachute into communities. They raise or bring their own millions and billions of dollars. And between now and November, last few months, they continue to ramp up advertising. They can't build long-term relationships and deep connections in the communities that matter for those elections. And these candidates, every election cycle, the campaigns, they rent offices, they fill them with furniture, they hire and train staff, they build up management and culture. They do it all from scratch, and then they start over every 2 years. As a donor, if you want to feel like you're having an impact, the Movement Voter Project, we're about building infrastructure that lasts. How do we do this? You take what we call the big 5 states: Wisconsin, Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Florida. These are the states that are most likely to determine the winner of the Electoral College. If we can mobilize these marginalized voters, immigrants, and people of color, if we can get them to feel invested in this election, if we can give them a reason to be invested in this election, they can win this election for themselves and for the whole country. How do we win? We don't organize these voters. We invest in outstanding local groups that do that.
My name is Desmond Meade. I am the executive director of Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. What we're doing is not just changing Florida forever. What we're doing is actually going to change the world forever, because I'm bold enough. We are creating a way out of no way. Where other people may see obstacles, we see opportunities. We can do with the work that we're doing in Florida. I think the most important thing is that it's changing people's lives. It's giving communities that have been marginalized through systemic racism, has been marginalized through gentrification, that's been marginalized through all kinds of discrimination based on the color of their skin and their sexual identity and their immigration status. It's giving these communities the most powerful weapon that we can ever have, and that's hope. That's hope. Hope for a better future, hope for a better democracy. We can transform this country, but more importantly, we can transform lives. And that's what sits at the center of the work that we do at Florida Rights Restoration Coalition.
I'm Jillian Johnson. The 3 big pots of work that MVP is funding and that are moving in North Carolina right now are mobilizing Black voters, our Black electorate, harnessing the strength of our rising Latinx electorate, and organizing across the rural-urban divide. Black voters have been explicitly targeted by gerrymandering and voter suppression laws in North Carolina, doing things like eliminating Sunday voting so that souls to the polls events were no longer possible, eliminating same-day registration, pre-registration for youth. All of these things that people had fought for in this state for decades to make voting easier, our Republican-controlled legislature had rolled back. One of our partners, a group called Down Home, which works primarily in small towns and rural areas, doing Get Out the Vote, doing rural organizing and mobilizing, which is really important for the future of our state.
Greetings. I am Latasha Brown. I am one of the co-founders of Black Voters Matter Fund, which was founded in 2016 with Cliff Albright. So the reason why Black Voters Matter was founded is because what we saw is that most of the political infrastructure is either set up by political candidates or the political parties, and that in both circumstances they have agendas and they focus on their agenda that may or may not necessarily work in the best interest of the people. So what we started is our organization so that we could support and center where the real power of democracy is, and that is with the people. So through our work in Black Voters Matter and with the support of MVP, we've been able to help 120 Black-led organizations in 7 states in the South to really help build infrastructure so that we can not only focus on policy wins and getting progressive candidates, but we can really build a stronger, more inclusive democracy in this country.
Each of us has a moral responsibility, if we are of voting age and if we are registered, to participate in that decision.
Whether you're black or white, Latino, Asian American, or Native American, we should be able to participate in the democratic process.